Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on the afternoon of Saturday, March 4th, 2023. And today is a special commentary on you Americans and the world in general. Humans in general, but Americans in particular. So I'll concentrate on the Americans with you other humans hearing me out, okay? Well, the Americans are heading into a rock and a hard place. They got a $31 trillion debt. That's why we don't have currency where I come from in my planet. We got rid of that millennia ago. Because it was a pain in the woo-woo. Over a millennia ago, around 1,200 of your years, we got rid of money and debt. Do we have cost? Yes, but we furnish our society in a different manner than you do. And here in America, you got an issue that you got planet-wide. You guys are heading towards 8 billion planet-wide. Your planet is known that it cannot support 6 billion, let alone 7, and now 8. Your planet is unique in that way. We had almost double your population because you got about 7 billion something right now. We have 14 billion when they blew themselves up. So we were double. And our planet was smaller than yours. So we had less territory, double the population. You guys got areas of your planet that you don't exist in because it's either too cold or too arid, which limits the population where they can go, except that you have gone all over the place. Here in America is a good example. The American experiment for the last 200 plus years has consumed more than they needed. Therefore, now you're paying the piper. Case in point, for the United States to look at $31 trillion debt, may I suggest this way of dealing with your debt, and I know you won't like it, and then eliminate on a planet-wide scale money, power, accumulation of wealth. Wealth exists, but it's not the accumulation of wealth as you know it. Until you understand or comprehend that, you are doomed for extinction. So here's my suggestion for the Americans to get their $31 trillion off. You first will have to declare at least a 3-year, I would suggest a 4-year moratorium on anybody coming to the United States. Close the borders. If you have a visa already, you still can come and go as you please. But I would say January 1st, 2024, the borders are closed to at least January 1st, 2027 or January 1st, 2028. And still have the people move all over the place if they have proper documentation to fly in with a visa. Okay? But you will issue no more visas for that particular time period. Second, form a commission and split your country into 4 halves. Make the Mississippi River and the Mason and Dixon line, take it all the way from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and make 1/4 north of the Mason-Dixon line, east of the Mississippi, 1/4 south of the Mason-Dixon line and west and east of the Mississippi, 1/4 west of the Mississippi and south of the Mason-Dixon line, and the other quarter north between the Mason-Dixon line and the Canadian border. Okay? And those states, and some of them will be half and half, so you have to decide which half your state's going to be in that are in that border between Mason-Dixon line there, the west and on the east, and say, okay, these are the north and this is the south, north, east, southeast, and southwest, and northwest is what I would suggest you use as terms for those. And in those terms, each of those states involved in there will set up a commission that will report. So there will be 4 members reporting to the president. Each member reports to the region that you occupy. And you will report on such things as raw materials that we have in this region, population that can support by this region. Are we overpopulated on this region or underpopulated on this region? If we're underpopulated, and then you have another region that can't support, like the West, who can't support the population that it has because you're running out of water big time. And if the people want to move to the other 2 areas that are not populated as bad, they can. The states that want to still exist, well, you're going to have to make a determination based on a lot of numbers. Okay? How many people can the region accept and sustain themselves on a going basis with the resources available, not borrowing from other regions. So if you're in the Northwest, you have to get Northwest regions sources to sustain yourself. You can't borrow from the Southeast or the Northeast or the Southwest. You did that a lot for the last 2 centuries. Heck, the Colorado River, you've been siphoning it and paying Peter to pay Paul on that one. Same with the Mississippi, Ohio, Missouri. You got to make sure that those are sustainable powerhouses of resources for you. And population, like I said, you have to do that. Economic viability. And what is economic viability? It's not money. Economic viability is, what do we have in resources that other people need? Do we have enough after we get ourselves to get the other regions, not just the world, but the other regions first, and get the United States where you got a certain number of these resources that we can export to the world. Not to export by money that you are doing today. See what I mean? You got all these issues involved in there, and if you take them all within 36 months, and it's going to be a tough evaluation, you can come up with a system that will eliminate that $31 trillion. Because China's got the same way. They got a population issue, and they haven't done it on their own territory either. Canada hasn't done it. Any country hasn't done it. And you need to do that because you got sustainability. Some parts of your countries cannot sustain you. Other parts can. But do not overextend the other parts that can at the expense of the people who really don't deserve it because they're living in another region. That is the problem you have to do. You got to make the region's population correspond with what they can be sustained in that region. And the habitat, you got to include them too. Can a bear survive with us? Because the more we take from this region, the more they're getting killed, and they have no say in this. Your bears, your fishes, your trees. So you got to act for them too, not just for yourselves. Are you willing to do that? Hell no. So this is my comment for today. You see what I mean, Americans? You can do this if you do this, but hey, we Republicans don't like this, and we Democrats, oh man, we got to give all this money away and get all these resources to people that really we don't know how much we have, but we'll give them to the Ukrainians, we'll give them to the English, and we'll give them to the Latins, and oh well, and we'll bring people in here and destroy our service because we don't know how much resources we really have for our own selves. See what I mean? This is your favorite alien saying, this is why you're doomed to extinction. Good day.